What did you learn from your matches thus far in the competition?
I think territory is everything. I think probably is the key one. I think playing the game in your half is pretty exhausting, particularly in tough conditions, both games. And I think, when we had that territory and we looked after ball, we looked really threatening. But unfortunately, today, when we had territory, we didn't look after ball, so we spent a lot of time in our own half. So that would probably be the key lesson for me going into next week is how can we secure ball better when we have territory.
How did you read the wind? Because the wind is swirling here in Athens.
Yeah, it's really difficult. We're quite used to it because we were here a couple of games last year, and it was probably even tougher last year. But it's difficult because, like you say, it does swirl. But we're pretty lucky that we've got some pretty big kickers. I thought Lisa Thompson, particularly today, was exceptional off the boot, and I think she got us out of a lot of trouble and really put in a good show against a very good kicking team. I think when we got into those kick battles and we stayed in those kick battles, we were really good, and I think we're pretty savvy around our kick chase. But it was when we probably played into their hands a little bit when we went shorter, carried a little bit more in that middle third. Our kicking game works. We know it works. Our kick chase is good. We just got to stick to that process.
Coach, what are you going to change for the next game?
We'll review this game properly. I think it's important that we review it, and I think the important thing, I think we saw international rugby is about winning, and we dug in and we stuck in and we got to a position where we did win the game. Rachel's right. I think our kicks, our kick chase, our game management in that middle third would be something that we would look at. But when we get that right, we do put pressure on opposition, and that's really the important thing. But we are learning to win games. We're learning to dig in and have that winning mentality. But there are 2 or 3 things that we want to fix for next week.
Thank you. I'm just going to check Gary Heatley should be on this call.
Perfect.
Thank you.
He said he's in the waiting room, Caitlin.
Yeah, I got that message, which is why we're bringing him into the room. All good.
There we go. That's okay.
Perfect. Over to you guys on virtual.
Bryan, was it always at least a possible plan to bring on so many replacements at once, given the conditions?
Yeah, I think so. I think it was really important that we managed the group and we managed the weather. We went basically from a Scottish winter's day last week to an African summer's day today, and it's been it's probably been quite a tough week in terms of the weather and making sure that we had that heat management strategy. And we've made it very clear that we have got a very strong bench. We've got a very strong squad, so it was important to make sure that we looked after everybody and put in that 80-minute performance with 23 players.
What were you most pleased about today?
We stuck in. I think that's probably the most pleasing thing. It was really quite difficult. Japan are a really difficult side to play against. They're very, very good at the breakdown. They put pressure on you at the breakdown. They keep a hold of the ball a lot, so we defended a lot. It felt like we defended a lot, and I'm sure Rachel would feel the same as well. And I think when we did have the ball, we probably overplayed a little bit. We probably could have we looked to offload. We looked to play a little bit too much at times. But look, we dug in, we stuck in, and the most important thing is international sport is you grind out a win, and that's what we've done today.
Bryan, just in terms of the early try, France seemed to be coming off her wing a lot in the first half. Was that kind of tactic for this game, or is that something you're wanting her to do more just generally? That's something we've worked a lot with Fran recently, actually, is just about coming off her wing, and that try, she added that extra number, and it's really important when you're attacking, with, especially when you've got wingers with the threats that they've got. To come off your wing to add extra numbers was excellent. I thought we started really well, and we then, once we scored, we actually had a couple of really good chances on. We had 2 overload lineouts that we went for, and it was. I felt we had the foot on the throat at once, and we maybe let it go a little bit, but Fran's worked great and movement off that. It was a great score to start, and then it didn't feel like we had the ball for half an hour after that. It was 10 minutes with the ball and then half an hour without it, but that try before half time, I think, it just came at the right time for us.
when we didn't have that ball as much first half, I agree with Rachel. I thought Lisa Thompson, I thought her game management, I thought her kicks, keeping the ball, in those kicking battles, they covered the edges. They were looking to cover 50-22s, and Tom will recognise that. We're banging it down the middle of the pitch, and I thought she really managed that game well first half, and second half we probably didn't manage it as well.
Yeah, you mentioned the try just before half time. That's for 2 weeks in a row you've done that. I mean, I guess to be under the cosh for 20 minutes or so and then be able to do that. The try was quite a nice one as well, so it shows the sort of confidence you're building up.
Yeah, I think that's we did talk about that keeping the pressure on opposition, and that's something that we knew that. You look at the last 3 times that we've played Japan, it's been 7-0, 10-7, that kind of tight at half time, and we knew that. We knew that we just had to be patient, and we knew that we had to stick to our plan. But to get that score before half time was nice to go in, and we were just to kind of consolidate, look at how we were going to play second half, and then just to be able to make changes and keep everything fresh as well was a positive thing for us.
And can you just touch on Meryl at 30? She's sort of racked up the different numbers now on her back. But what did you make of her performance? Yeah,
look, I think Meryl's just, as I said, I think I said it on Thursday or Friday, and Meryl's a talented rugby player, and she has the ability to play right across that midfield. She played at 15 for us as well, and I think there are different strengths in each position, and I think Rachel's touched on it. I think Lisa Thompson defensively and also with her game management as well, and Meryl has that ability to move to play. Helen Nelson as well. The 3 of them bring something different. It's going to be. It'll be interesting looking at next week, because we've got so many good players to pick from, and we'll look at Australia. We'll look at how we played today, and then we'll make an informed selection after that.